Hello everyone, today in Sangi's Cookery we're going to see how to prepare a Pirandai Kuzhambu. Pirandai is also known as the Adamant creeper or the Velded grape, or it is also known as the devil's backbone. So if you see the Pirandai, it will be in the shape of a bone. So it's slightly more similar to drumstick also, but if you see that it will be having some edges like the bone. Needless to say, it is very good for people who are suffering from bones problems and also with sprains and other fractures. Pirandai is a medicinal plant. Needless to say, it is healthy and it is also made tastier by adding all this onions, garlic and tomatoes and other spices to make it more interesting and tastier. So we're going to make this puli kuzhambu today. So before we go into the procedure as to how to prepare the Pirandai Kuzhambu, if you're watching my video for the first time, I would request you all to subscribe to my channel and also click on the bell icon for further interesting recipes and notifications. For making the Pirandai Kuzhambu, I have actually grown some Pirandai or the Velded creeper in my garden. You can see that. I've just kept one small stick and see how big it's grown. It's just a creeper. You can even grow it in the balcony gardens. You can see how tender it is. If you just keep one stick along with the node in a pot, it keeps growing. So I'm just going to pluck a few stems of this Pirandai or the Velded grape. This is supposed to be one of the best for the bones and joints. Good for women, especially during the menopausal stages. It also helps in digestion. I'll tell you how to clean the Pirandai. First, I have applied some gingelly oil. This Pirandai or the Velded creeper usually creates some kind of itchiness in the hands. So to avoid that, we are applying some gingelly oil. See, these leaves usually we can use for making the tuvaiyal or the chutney. When you're making a chutney out of this Velded grape, you can use these leaves. You just have to take the sharp edges. You can see the sharp edges here. Just take out the slightly with the help of a knife. You can just peel the edges. Sometimes it comes out by hand itself. All these sharp edges, it's difficult to cook it, so you can just take it out like this. And mostly in the old age, a lot of people are complaining of leg pain and arthritis. So for them it is extremely beneficial. So similarly, I'll be cleaning the remaining Pirandai as well. For making the Pirandai Kuzhambu, as informed, I have peeled the skin and I have cut it into small strips like this. And I have also soaked it in hot water along with some rock salt. This is basically to avoid any kind of itchiness in the throat. So this is a small tip which I want to pass it on. Or you can cook the Pirandai in salt water and then strain it. 3 to 4 teaspoons of dhania or the coriander seeds, 1 teaspoon of the chana dal, 1 teaspoon of the black pepper, 1 teaspoon of the urad dal, and some solid hing like this. Solid hing gives you a good flavor, and 1 teaspoon of toor dal, and half a teaspoon of black til, and about half a teaspoon of the methi seeds. Along with this, around 4 to 5 red chillies and 2 tablespoons of coconut. I have soaked a lemon size tamarind in hot water and we'll be extracting the juice. This will be around 1 cup. So again, I'll be straining and I'll be making it to 3 cups of tamarind water for a lemon size tamarind. Around 6 to 7 small onions, 3 to 4 flakes of garlic, 2 tomatoes finely chopped, gingelly oil required for seasoning and frying the Velded grape or the Pirandai. And for seasoning in the gingelly oil, 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds, 1 teaspoon of methi seeds, 2 red chillies, and these are the ingredients which have to be put in the Kuzhambu. Half teaspoon of turmeric powder, salt as per taste, 1 teaspoon of jaggery powder, some fresh curry leaves. So first I'm adding some gingelly oil and we'll be frying the Pirandai. After frying for a few minutes, you can see that the adamant creeper of the Pirandai is changing its color. At that stage, you can switch off the gas and you can take out the Pirandai and keep it in a plate. drain off the oil and take only the Pirandai out, because we can use the same oil for frying the other ingredients. First, when we took out the Pirandai, it was looking as though we are taking a lot of sticks, but after frying, see, the quantity is actually reduced. So in the same pan, I'm going to add some chana dal, dhania or the coriander seeds. Then I'm adding some black pepper, methi seeds, red chillies, urad dal, toor dal, and also the asafoetida or the hing, the solid ones. I'm also adding some small onions and also garlic at this stage. Curry leaves, fresh curry leaves, this will give you a very good flavor. I have also reserved a few for seasoning. I'm also adding the tomatoes. Now I'm adding just 2 tablespoons of coconut. This is again optional. Just fried it for about 30 seconds. I'm also adding some black till, which we can add when the pan is hot. Now after frying the black till also in the pan, I'm going to grind all these ingredients along with the fried Pirandai. By adding some water, I'm going to grind it into a smooth paste. So first I've taken a kal chatti. In that I'll be adding the tamarind water. Kal chatti tastes good for any kind of puli kuzhambu or the tamarind kuzhambu. Squeezing some more water from the tamarind extract. Now in the tamarind water I'm adding the turmeric powder. Let this boil for a few minutes. Now we have the ground paste. It's more green in color basically because of the curry leaves which I have added. You add more curry leaves, it gives you a very good flavor. I'm also going to add some water in the mixie jar and I'm going to add it in the kuzhambu. So to this I'm going to add some salt and also the jaggery powder. Jaggery powder is just to balance the taste of the tamarind. But believe me, the kuzhambu will not be sweet, it will actually balance the taste. Also another thing which I want to mention is if you want to reduce the amount of curry leaves also you can add, but adding curry leaves, it adds to the flavor of this dish as well as it is good for health. So once it starts to bubble, you can actually switch off the gas. So once you switch off the gas also, in kal chatti, the advantage is it will still keep boiling it. So we're going to finally season with the gingelly oil. Few people add some sliced small onions and also sliced garlic, which gives you definitely an additional flavor. But today I'm not going to add that. I'm going to add some mustard seeds once the oil becomes hot. Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, I'm adding the methi seeds, also the red chilli. I'm also adding some powdered hing. Finally, I'm just going to add some curry leaves as well. It's really yummy and smells great. My entire kitchen is filled with the fragrance of the curry leaves, black pepper and all kinds of spices. So this is a very healthy kuzhambu, and especially if a person has undergone some fracture or any kind of ailments, this is the best thing which you can prepare, and it helps your body to recover faster, and it is also extremely good for old people, especially when they have arthritis or any kind of leg problems. Most of the old people are complaining of leg pain, so I would suggest at least once a week you prepare this. I hope you'll all try out the recipe of this Pirandai kuzhambu, and if you like it, please share it with your friends and relatives. Have a wonderful spicy day.